Hey guys, what's going on? It's True Exodus here. Today we're looking at the 300 Blackout 115 grain from Fort Scott Munitions. This round is specifically designed to tumble upon impact. Now a lot of people like 300 Blackout for a number of different reasons. When put through a short barrel gun and a suppressor, it's extremely quiet, but there's a lot of people who use it for hunting as well. And we're gonna throw in a clip for you so you can see a little bit later on what this grain bullet does to a bad black bear. We're going to shoot upon Clear Ballistics gelatin. The wonderful people at Clear Ballistics supplied me with this, and I've been melting it down, reusing it. They supplied me with a mold, so we want to thank them. This is the 10% grade FBI gel, and for a lot of you all asking questions about this, this is fully synthetic. So it really doesn't matter the temperature in which it's in, but at the same time, we're about 55 degrees right now. It just came out of the oven not about 10 hours ago, so it's still at room temperature. We've got a rubber dummy providing the backstop, but this is a 20-inch block. So we're gonna see what this bullet does when fired through it. So keep that all in one frame there, babe. We're gonna load and make ready, and we're just gonna fire a single round and see what happens. So weapon's unsafe. And then, oh, look at this. It came up and then exited out of our block. Looks like it's a little high on that, but it did have that tumble effect that it's known to have before it exited and hit this block. And of course, there's probably not gonna be anything like that, any retrievable round. So let's go ahead and shoot that again, shall we? Get a little bit lower on it this next time. And I hit my wood. This is not working out for True Exodus very well at all, is it? Let's see here. I don't think I hit my wood. No, I didn't. It just kind of rocked the whole thing, which I need a better table, so maybe I should get a table sponsor. Here is now that wound cavity. I don't know if you can see that. Come look on the top of it right over here, if you will. And then looking at it from the side, it's pretty devastating as well. I'll go ahead and take that camera for you. It's kind of hard to see because I've basically fouled this up. It's really hard to pull this out without getting your fingerprints on it. But if you want to look at that wound cavity and that tumbling effect, it's nasty. And then you can see that wound cavity through there. It's just disgusting. Let's do another couple of rounds, see if we can't get the same kind of effect. Our bullet just went straight through, and it looks like this is over penetrating this 20 inches and hitting this dummy and not going anywhere. So I'm kind of interested to see what we can do to slow this down, so to speak. Let's see if I can't just put that right there and slow it down, so to speak. Let's try this out. Nope, that's not gonna work. Oh, no, here it is. Woo! I was doing all that, but there's the round. So let me just backtrack real fast. The first round we had came up, and you can see its trajectory. It left the top of the block about right there and then hit our dummy right here. So I'd expect that to pass on through into the berm. But this one was shot low enough to where it tumbled and did its thing, and then when it exited and hit, it hit and then came right out. So that's 20 inches. It hit a rubber dummy. It did not go into the rubber dummy, but it just smacked it and fell on the ground. So that's pretty cool. We'll hold on to that. I'm sure Knox will really like that. Let's give it a couple more rounds, see if we can't repeat these same results, so to speak. This might be better to do. Stand by. It's spinning! It's spinning! That's so much fun! What in tarnation just happened there? That was cool. What? And it's hot. Not really. What just happened? Oh, that's what happened. I shot it way too low. Come here, look at this. I'm not an expert at this. This is just fun for me to do. I shot that sucker way too low, and it just rocked the wood down there. So it entered, it tumbled, but it just didn't do. No, as it was tumbling, it just came out and then just funneled down in here. That would make a lot of sense. Well, that's one way of not how to do it. And my light fell off. So I should learn how to run lights better, I suppose. Loctite them. Okay, that sucker's good on there. Now, let's take some step back. Let's allow the full brunt of that 300 Blackout to go through here. When that was tumbling, I was just like, what on earth is going on? And then now, we've entered, hit, where is it at? This one came and did that spiraling effect and hit right here. It's probably somewhere over there. But can you see this right here? It comes in, and to give you an idea of these wound cavities, this is an 1.5 inch wound cavity, it looks like. And these are not doing as well as I think that they should. They're obviously full 20 inches, but it's not smacking this like I think it should be smacked. We're gonna turn this like that and see if we can't get a better look-see effect on this right here. This is what I should have done beforehand, by the way. All right, let's try this again. So that's what we're doing, right? That's what's happening. That bullet is coming in, it's tumbling once, it's tumbling twice. It's like this spiral motion that it's doing. And that looks devastating. It's coming in, it's hitting. It hit a rubber dummy. It's probably somewhere on the ground right in here. But there is that penetration factor. And again, a lot of people think that, 20 inches and you compare human flesh to this, they think that, well, I don't need 20 inches of penetration on something, but in reality, keep in mind something. This is just to simulate human flesh. It's the consistency of a pig's skin. This is not taking into account the bone that your rifle or the round has to work through, the sinew, all the different things, just the actual fluids that your body has as well. So a lot of people mistakenly think that, all I need is 9 inches of penetration because of this, but that's not how ballistic gelatin testing works. This is set up for just consistency so that we can see what a round does when it hits flesh, not accounting for bones and those different types of things, because you can't put bone in front of this like some people do and then try to get consistent, repeatable results, because those bones are angled, those rounds are hitting them, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense a lot of times. So let's just shoot this a couple more times because it's fun, and see what we're getting. Oh no! Oh, it hit the ground. That's how much energy it's being hit. Oh, no! Never let your gel hit the ground. That's what's happening. Oh, what a bad thing. What is just an awful thing. Man. Well, let's look at these, because we've gotten some really strong, really large wound cavities. And it is what it is. There you go, guys. Couple things I've learned from this. I need to have a better table, first and foremost. I'm also learning that it looks as though that you don't want to drop your gel block on the ground. So one shot at a time, so that all that energy is able to actually do something. I'm learning that this 300 Blackout round is really devastating because it continues making that wound cavity. A lot of those defense rounds and hollow point rounds, they're opening up, and they're opening up and they're creating a large wound cavity for a particular period. But if you look at this, come here, I want to show you something, Dave. If you look at this, this is a 10-inch wound cavity, right? Just in this example right here. And if you look at these other examples too, this is an 11-inch wound cavity. If you look at this one down here, this one is consistently an 11-inch wound, a 10.5-inch, 11-inch wound cavity. These wound cavities are these are permanent wound cavities. We're not catching a bubble on this. This is hitting and just destroying whatever's inside of it. And that's pretty devastating. Unlike the 9mm round that they have, which will hit and will tumble, and then it will like do something else, and then it will tumble again. This is just ripping right through it, and that's pretty cool, I suppose. If you have any thoughts, questions, leave them in the comment section below. Again, I'm not a ballistics gelatin expert. I'm just doing this so that you can see what's happening. Again, I think this is just phenomenal based off of everything that I've seen in the past, and it is what it is. So take it for what it's worth. Take it for what it's worth, and if you have any requests of what you would like to see, we've got lots of different calibers to test and lots of different things to look forward to, so we will do it. True Exodus here saying hold fast, stay the course.